Awesome, so today's video is about Euros and my love / disgust for them. So last time we talked about X and Allies and we talked about the 4 games that really got me into the hobby. These were Puerto Rico, which is a Euro, Belfort, which is kind of a Euro, kind of not. It's a strange little beast, but it's more Euro-y than not. And then Xia, which is totally a dice chucker, not a Euro. And then Thief, which is more of a dice chucker as well. So let's just go ahead and explain our terms, because that's always the best thing to do. When we say Euro, the opposite is Ameritrash. Ameritrash is usually dice chucking and lots of theme, while a Euro is more bland, usually lots of beige, and little to no luck, and this often takes the guise of no dice. Puerto Rico is quintessential example of a Euro. One of the most amazing games when I first got into modern designer board games, and it was a Euro. And the thing that really good Euros do is provide tension, provide some player interaction. And this kind of goes against the credo again of what is a Euro. Usually there's light or little player interaction, but I would say that right now Brass, as of recording 2023 July, no, it's August, is number one, on Board Game Geek, number one game in the world, and it's a Euro, and I like it. And the reason why I like it is because there's tension. What other people do affect you, and so often in Euros, you are just playing an optimization engine. You don't really interact with the people. This is just something that I usually do not enjoy in games. I like to be kind of push-pull. And I think really good Euros, things like, I'm gonna call Azul, even though it's kind of abstract strategy, but it's a Euro, a great game. Someone does on their turn affects me. Oh, you took blue, I take red, but if I take red, you do this. And being able to see or understand the consequences of your actions is super important in board games. And sometimes Euros are so layered, a player does not exactly understand, when I do this, what does that actually mean 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 turns in the future? And that's not fun. If a game is so opaque with its actions and I don't even know what is this a good move or a bad move? And I'm going to use On Mars as an example, that when is a good time to build a building? When is a good time to get water? Should I go after plants? Like, what should I do? And sometimes the game is so open that the choices just all seem the same and quite muddied. Sometimes it's nice to have little goals along the way, and a lot of games do this nowadays. Terraforming Mars with the milestones. Then you have games that, again, like Agricola, getting back to farming, you are just constantly trying to do your best as this push-pull worker placement. You went there, I do this. And I think that's why Agricola is good and will continue to be good, because it has that push-pull of scarcity of actions, where you can put your worker and worker placement. And we talked about that with Belfort a little bit, but I think Agricola just does it much better. But again, like, what do you get points for in Agricola? Everything gets you points. You must do everything. And I don't think a lot of players really like that people usually want to specialize. They want to be the tomato guy, or they want to be the steel worker, or the tool person. They want to be a singular kind of focused engine. But Euro games often ask you, no, you have to do everything. They can usually be seen by having that pad of paper with that little chart, and you're going to get points for everything, and you add that up. And for example, Seven Wonders, it does it quite well. It's pretty simple to do that. And if someone would ask me if Seven Wonders is a Euro, I would say no, it's a drafting game, because it's super luck, what cards you get, when you get them, and so on. And so the point of a Euro is to start everybody off at the same place and give them nearly the same options. And then as the turn or the round goes, the options are eliminated, and so therefore taking the best options in the best order to create the best outcome is pretty much what a Euro is. So hopefully I've explained what a Euro is. And current Euros can sometimes have like 200 or 100 option spaces or choices. That's too many, in my opinion. I'm looking at you, Feast for Odin, and it just can seem like, to a new player, what am I supposed to do? Where am I supposed to go? What is a good thing to do? What is something that's going to give me not an immediate award, but immediate understanding of what I'm doing? And now I'm going to talk about my favorite game, Terraforming Mars, because I think Terraforming Mars does this very well. Terraforming Mars is not a Euro. It is a engine builder with drafting, and so in Terraforming Mars, you have those milestones. So the first person to accomplish some goals can get points. I like that a lot because it gives players a focus. And usually all of those goals are going to help you in the long term. And then it kind of makes you feel like, okay, I did that. Even if you get 1 out of 3, you're like, okay, cool, I got one. That's 5 points at the end of the game. And it can kind of propel you into, one of the 6 avenues that is Terraforming Mars. Having a game like Terraforming Mars that gives you short-term goals and rewarding you for those short-term goals, and those short-term goals lead or continually help you, I think is an excellent thing for a Euro to do. When I first got into gaming, I really thought I would like Euros. I was like, wow, there's so much thinking and this and this and this. And I just got bored. I just got super bored of turning cubes into widgets and widgets into something and something into points. And it was just, 4 steps to get a point. And I understand that there's people and their minds, they like this little puzzle, and it just hits those dendrites. And one example of this is Russian railroads, which I've talked about a few times. Oh, you always talk about Russian railroads. Okay, fine. Again, like, this game was super hyped. It was really well received. People were talking really well about it. And I went to another game shop to play it because I like to play a game before I buy if I can. None of it is Russian. It's kind of railroads because it's just, getting resources to build one route longer. The route is at the bottom of your player board. And yeah, the guy that just pushed one thing all the way to the max and then did another thing all the way to the max, he won. Again, concentrating on one thing, and that was it. And everyone else that did the normal Euro thing, that tried to do a little bit of each, kind of like ticking it over, didn't win. And I was like, oh, that's neat. And then when I talked to Vip, the guy that was running the game shop at the time, he said, yes, that's what everyone does. Everyone goes after that purple track or whatever at the bottom, and that gives them so many bonuses, and that's pretty much the optimal way to play the game. And I was like, cool, never need to play this ever again. Even games like Istanbul that have that really interesting walking mechanic, I find to be horribly tedious and just boring. Years ago, I played Five Tribes when Five Tribes first came out, and it was such a big hit, and people love Five Tribes. I found no point of even watching anyone else's turn because I had nothing to do with my turn. And by the time it was my turn, the game state was so different, and it didn't affect me at all. I mean, let's say I saw a good move. Oh, that good move is gone. Okay, now this move's gone. Now that move's gone. So what's the point of me even watching 2, 3, 4 other people, whatever it is, play the game when it doesn't affect me? I can be reading a book or talking to someone else. And, people may say that, Five Tribes is much better with 3 or 2 or whatever it is. I don't know. But I have zero interest. The game looks cool. Yes. Pulling off cool moves, super fast catch, that's awesome. Yes, great, do that. But that downtime of just nothing to do, and your turn does not affect me, and that's what Catan does correctly with the trading. It helps everyone's turn move forward. That's, in my opinion, a sign of a good game. I've tried quite a lot of Euros, and usually the ones that are like hailed as being amazing, and just found myself terribly bored, with the exception of Brass, because Brass is a puzzle that I believe at some point in time you can understand, these are your 3 optimal choices, but these optimal choices can always be pulled out from under you and then you have to come up with other options. There is a bit of a table talk in Brass, and you could say like, oh, the same thing is, it doesn't matter what you want to do. By the time it gets to be your turn, it doesn't matter. And I totally feel that with Brass. But there's something about what other people do because you're building out on that central board. And I've always said that I like games that have central boards more than games that don't have that tension. Now, oh, they built the railway there. Oh, they built this building there. Okay, cool. So maybe I can capitalize on that. So I really like that. And one of the times I played Brass, I was playing with a guy that is much more experienced than I am, and I was running another game and helping another table, and they would just say, Stu, it's your turn, and I would run back, and I would look at the table, and my mind would just be flooded with, I don't know what to do, like, there's just too many options. And I would ask Kung, the more experienced guy, like, what should I do? And he would give me like 2 options, and I would talk to him about it, and just kind of tickle out, kind of tease out the different ideas of Brass. And that's how I really started to appreciate the game, because trying to figure those things out for yourself, especially when you're running around, is just not fun. But having someone just point out like, these are some optimal moves, and you're like, cool, I'm gonna go with this one because I think it's better, whatever. And just getting a little help. And I talked about this the other vlog, podcast, whatever these things are, about, playing up. Oh, I'm in the wrong. And, and that's what he was doing for me. He was helping me play up. And, and I suddenly started to appreciate and understand and enjoy Brass way, way more, because someone was giving me really good advice on what to do. Did I win? Heck no. He slaughterballed us. That's fine. He should. He's the better player. But Brass, just for whatever reason, because it's engaging and that central board just pulls me in, saying, ooh, now there's coal. Ooh, now there's iron. Ooh, there's only so many turns left. And that kind of tension is just so rare in Euro games because it's so often about turning cubes into this, into that to get points. And without a central board, it's hard to care what someone else is doing. And scarcity is a great way to get around this. Again, this is why sometimes I feel I'm pulled to Euro games, because I like some of the mechanics they use. For example, in Century Spice Road, where it's a hand management game at its heart. It really is. You're managing your cards in your hand to build an engine and play that engine down card by card. And I like Century or Golem, whichever version, doesn't matter. But it does feel Euro-y at times because you are trading literal cubes for points, point cards. And like I said earlier about that scarcity and about getting things first, you may want to go ahead and just get some early point cards that may not be very valuable because you get 3 points. 3 point or 1 point coins are scarce. There's only so many. Getting those is really important because when they're gone, they're gone. And I like that those little coins add a lot to the game, that just like going after them or getting them early is important because they can really add up, up to 15 points. So I really like Century. I find that to be a nice Euro card management game. And I'm going to compare that to a more Euro game, Sail to India by AEG. This came out during the whole love letter craze, the micro game, or they've just kind of found their place, I should say. They now have a little place in gaming. That's where they hang out. So this game Sailed to India, and it's straight Euro. It's straight, you're moving your ship and building cubes. You're building your little ports, which are just cubes, and getting resources, cubes, and then you are selling them for points, cubes. So it's all just moving your ship to these places and exploring, and being the most efficient. And I liked the game. I thought it was cute. I thought it was interesting. Again, it's like a small pack of cards with cube, and I thought it was great. Everyone thought it was just dull as dog shit. Everyone just thought it was so boring. I was seeing something that wasn't on the board. I was seeing the design, how clever and interesting the design was in Sail to India. And I was like, wow, this is just clever. This is just clever Trevor. This is so cool. But that doesn't mean it's a good game. Another example of this is a pick up and deliver game. Bunch of cards. You play it out as the map. and you move your truck, picking up cubes, taking cubes there. Yeah, just I played it with a friend, Chris. Hi, Chris. Hope you're good. And I just, oh, this looks so cool. This looks so fun. The game was just flat, but yeah, just didn't do anything. Like, it was very bland. Pick Up and Deliver, I feel, is a game that needs more to it, and that's why you have games like that Space Game is Pick Up and Deliver. For example, Zaya. I'm trying to think of the original Space Pick Up and Deliver game, but yeah, just Pick Up and Deliver by itself as a game of movement is just not very interesting because it needs something else. It needs combat. It needs, building your own truck, your own vessel, or whatever. And that's why I think Galaxy Trucker does a better job, because that's basically Pick Up and Deliver. Oh, you are a trucker. Yeah, so Euros, by their very nature of turning things in and efficiency engines, are not very interesting. But with clever design, with scarcity, with goal posting, get this here, get this then. Maybe you'll even have some cards that you can get extra points in the game for doing this. And like Caverna, I really like Caverna. I think Caverna is super slick. I think it totally replaces Agricola. I'm not even saying that, but if you have Agricola and you love it, then just play Agricola. It's fine. There's so many expansions for that game, like 3 or 5 or something. Just play what you like. Agricola, does a great job, and Caverna does even a better job of just giving you more stuff to play with and more little things, going on adventures and building out your cave or your yard, and then giving you different races. I think it's just so clever. I really like Caverna. It's just expensive, and what's the better player count? 3, I guess. I don't know. Like, it's pretty low. You don't want a lot of people. I don't want to play 7. That seems horrible. Or 6, whatever it is. I really want to play interesting, captivating Euro games. And it just seems that the norm is just a drier game. Even if you have a game like On Mars, which, beautiful everything and beautiful this, it just seems too many engines to get points, or too many cycles to turn anything into real physical objects on the board. And that's one reason why I thought I would really like On Mars, because it has that, that middle board, but I never felt like I was fighting to be on that board. Like, being on that board was, really important. I don't know, like, maybe I should give On Mars, another look, but the fact that they came out with some alien expansion to kind of jazzy it up kind of tells me that they knew that the game was lacking some spice. Anyway, go ahead and let me know what is your favorite Euro game and why you like or don't like Euro games. Next time we will talk about one game in particular, not just this cornucopia of references. All right, see you later. Bye-bye. Ciao, ciao.